Coronation Street has finally exposed who was behind the cruel vandalism of Bernie Winter-Alahan's wedding photograph, and in a shocking turn, unsettling Mal Roper has been cleared of blame. Earlier this week, Bernie was horrified to discover that an intruder had entered the Alahan home and viciously sliced her face from the treasured wedding portrait. Suspicion immediately fell on Mal, who has been persistently troubling Bernie since their encounter at the Chariot Square Hotel several weeks ago. During tonight's episode, Bernie challenges Mal face-to-face, presenting the ruined picture and accusing him of carrying out the act. Although Mal firmly denies any involvement, his cold attitude and lack of sympathy do little to calm Bernie's fears. As the episode unfolds, viewers learn the real culprit when newcomer Jodie Ramsey secretly rummages through a stash of keepsakes hidden inside a cupboard at the Platt residence. Shona's manipulative sister quietly removes the cutout image of Bernie's face from her pocket and tucks it away inside the concealed box. Adding to the shock, the container also holds Brian Packham's missing book, which vanished during the recent burglary at the cabin. These revelations cast a disturbing spotlight on Jodie's mindset, revealing just how vindictive she can be. Both Bernie and Brian have recently clashed with her over minor disagreements, and it's now clear she responded in a far more extreme manner. Only days ago, Bernie criticized Jodie for mishandling Brian's cafe order. In retaliation, Jodie slyly misled Mal, giving him false encouragement about a possible romance with Bernie. Meanwhile, Brian had also angered Jodie after dismissing Lily Platt from her paper round when she discarded a bundle of newspapers on her very first shift. It's becoming evident that crossing Jodie comes with consequences, but just how dangerous could she become when she fixates on someone? Might this connect to her earlier appearance in the soap crossover Corrie, where Emmerdale's Graham Foster was seen holding her captive in the back of a van? Producer Kate Brooks previously hinted that answers are on the way, promising that viewers will soon learn why Jodie was in the van and uncover the nature of her connection to Graham. Brooks also reflected on Graham's shadowy history, describing him as a man with a dark and complicated past who was capable of ruthless behavior. Jodie's involvement with someone like him, she suggested, offers insight into her own character and what audiences can expect. She assured fans that the full story behind their relationship will be revealed, teasing that the storyline will expand dramatically in the coming months. As spring and summer approach, major turmoil is on the horizon for the Platt family, with plenty more explosive drama still to come. Fans of Emmerdale were taken aback when a familiar young face made a surprise appearance after being absent from screens for months. Evan Fletcher, the son of Dawn Fletcher and Billy Fletcher, was spotted in the background during a recent scene featuring Dawn and Kim Tate. As Evan quietly occupied himself with his toys, Dawn confided in Kim that life finally felt calmer, explaining that her divorce from Billy had been finalized and her son's cancer battle had come to an end. The role of Evan is portrayed by Malachi McKenzie, and since the character was born in 2023, he is now firmly in his toddler years. However, with nearly 9 months passing since his last appearance, viewers were astonished by how much he had grown. One fan named Penny shared her reaction online, admitting she hadn't realized Evan was old enough to walk, recalling that he was still a tiny baby the last time he featured on screen. Not long after his birth, Evan suffered a frightening accident when he tumbled from his changing mat and had to be taken to hospital. While being examined, a medic noticed bruises but reassured Dawn and Billy that he would soon recover from the fall. A few days later, Dawn discovered another unexplained bruise on Evan's leg, prompting another urgent visit to A&E. Subsequent blood tests led to the devastating diagnosis of acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Throughout much of 2024, the youngster endured repeated hospital stays as he underwent intensive treatment. To minimize the risk of infection, Dawn, Billy, and the rest of the household had to keep their distance from others. Although medical appointments continued into 2025, Evan gradually regained his strength and began showing clear signs of improvement. Now that he has completed his course of treatment, Dawn and Billy are finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. During the same episode, Dawn also opened up to Kim about her hopes of starting a family with Joe Tate, who is played by Ned Porteous. Recently, Dawn experienced a pregnancy scare after her period was late, leading her to question whether she might be expecting. Although the test proved negative, the brief possibility of carrying Joe's child made her recognize that she truly wants to become a mother again. In an upcoming episode of Emmerdale, Kane finds himself under fire as tensions rise over Sarah's latest trouble. Kane Dingle is on the verge of losing his temper when Jacob Gallagher storms in, angrily accusing him of influencing Sarah to get involved in car theft. Charity Dingle is equally furious, fiercely confronting Kane and demanding to know why he would risk his granddaughter's future in such a reckless way. Rather than respond, Kane abruptly walks away, refusing to justify himself. At the same time, Gabby Thomas begins to sense that something isn't adding up and grows increasingly doubtful about the situation. In another storyline, Jai Sharma is feeling conflicted about his secret romance with Carrie Wyatt. Although their chemistry behind closed doors is undeniable, Jai is unsure how to handle their professional relationship in front of others. Before long, Carrie appears to have devised a solution that suits her perfectly, openly teasing and belittling Jai in public while eagerly anticipating their intimate encounters in private. The question remains whether Jai will be comfortable with this double act, or if it will push him too far. Tonight's episode of Emmerdale threatens to shatter one of the drama's most powerful alliances, as Joe Tate sets a daring trap to determine whether Graham Foster is truly on his side. Could Graham be prioritizing Kane Dingle over Joe's demands? Elsewhere, chaos erupts at Butler's farm when a livestock emergency spirals out of control, bringing unexpected developments for Lewis Barton and Vinnie Dingle. Here's a preview of 6 dramatic developments from the latest installment. 1. Kim suspects Graham's betrayal. At Home Farm, unease continues to grow as Kim Tate cautions Joe against placing his faith in Graham. She reveals that she witnessed Graham holding a clandestine discussion with Kane at the Woolpack, and the pair appeared suspiciously aligned. Determined to uncover the truth, Joe resolves to investigate for himself. 2. A risky task is assigned. In a calculated move, Joe tests Graham's devotion by instructing him to discreetly evaluate the equipment at Butler's. His intention is to offload the machinery without Kane's knowledge, further deepening the farm's financial troubles. Graham feels uneasy about the scheme, aware of the mounting hardships Kane is already enduring due to his illness and Moira's time behind bars. He now faces a difficult choice about where his loyalty truly lies. 3. Joe reels from Graham's choice. Sympathizing with the Dingles, Graham feeds Joe misleading details about the farm's assets, insisting that nothing valuable remains to be sold. However, Joe is fully aware this claim is untrue, as a full stock check was completed when he and Kim invested in the property. Realizing he has been deceived, Joe is left heartbroken by Graham's apparent betrayal. But what action will he take next? 4. A rescue sparks romance. Trouble strikes again when a toppled tree causes sheep to become trapped inside a damaged barn. Kane quickly gathers allies for a rescue mission, with Mac, Ross, Lewis, and Vinnie stepping in to help. Amid the frantic effort, Lewis and Vinnie find themselves bonding over the shared experience. Their growing connection culminates in a kiss, but could this be the start of something deeper? 5. Laurel reflects on Ray's memory. Laurel Thomas and Dylan Penders share an honest discussion about their conflicted emotions surrounding Ray's death. Although they recognize his darker side, they can't ignore the closeness they once felt toward him. With his funeral approaching, Laurel begins to question whether she should attend the service. 6. Gabby confronts Arthur. Meanwhile, Gabby Thomas grows frustrated with Arthur Thomas, who continues to treat Laurel coldly following their disagreements. Gabby urges Arthur to reconsider his behavior, but with tensions set to escalate, it seems unlikely he will heed her warning. Emmerdale airs weeknights at 8:30 p.m. on ITV1 and is available to stream on ITVX.